It's the 8 for 52 podcast, driven by Cricket Hong Kong, China, and proudly supported by CricBuzz. G'day, Buschy with you. Yes, another podcast episode, the final one of 2025, and a big one to get through. Atif Hussain will drop by for the results and the upcoming matches. Jazz will drop by for the CricBuzz quiz, and also the birthdays are very special in the dugout this week with the new women's head coach, Mamatha Maben, dropping by telling us about her story growing up in India and how she made her way to Hong Kong. Before we get on with the show, we don't normally do this, but over the weekend there was a catch that needs to be shown, Erez Dar in the under-19s. Let's have a look at that. What a special snag that was by Erez Dar in the under-19s game against HKCC. Now, if you do see something special on the ground and it's caught on camera, whether it's your phone or being broadcast, send me a message on the 8 for 52 podcast Instagram and we'll see if we can find it and we'll put it on the show. Speaking of which, it's time to get on with it. Let's have a look at all the weekend results from around Hong Kong. Yes, time for the results. And of course, joining us as always, Atif Hussain. Only a week's worth of games to get through, Atif, but lots of excitement.
I'm very happy about it. I'm very happy.
Well, we've got to still get through them. 3 games for the Women's All-Stars. You and I were both here for the Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Let's start with them. And on Friday, it was a Balhinia Stars win, but it was a tight affair. It came down to the second last ball in that one. Jay Jets batting first, 126 for 3. Thought that was a good score.
That was
Top score from Yaz?
Yes, he looked fabulous in this All-Star series. I think she was pick of the batters, I think, for me.
Yeah, 126 for 3, so it was tough getting wickets out there. But the Balhinia Stars, on the back of one Vancy Chowdhury's half-century, a 55 off 63, got there with just 2 balls to spare. A bit of heartbreak for Jay Jets in game 1. The second game, however, was a bit of a blowout, with the Jay Jets being bowled out for 97. Again, Yasmin getting into the 30s, top scoring, but not a lot of help. Akshi getting a 26. The bowling a little bit better there for the Balhinia Stars.
Yes, Mariam was pick of the bowler yet again, 3 for 15 in her 4 overs, and Carey chipping in with 2 wickets in her 3 overs.
Yeah, then she went out to bat, Carey Chan, and got a 34 off 23, and they chased it down in just 14 overs. Wrapped up the series in 2 games.
Yes, they did.
And Carey Chan is the player of the match in that one. Then on to the final game. Still lots to play for in the Women's All-Stars because you're just showcasing what you can do in front of the coaching staff. And it was another pretty tight one. Balhinia Stars putting on 138 for 6. Biggest score of the entire tournament on the back of Mariam Bibi. This time with the bat, a 58 off 56. And Vancy, the next best was extras. A lot of extras bowled by the Jay Jets. So 138. How was the bowling?
Bowling was very good from Ikra and Carey. Carey Smith, that is. They both bowled really well. Ikra was pick of the bowler in her 4 overs. Picked up 2 for 19. Good to see her back bowling well. She's been struggling with injuries recently, but I think these All-Star series have helped her regain that confidence that she probably would have lost.
If you watched Ikra through the 3 games, it was really loose in game 1.
Yeah.
Tightened it up in game 2 and then got it all together in game 3. So that is a really good sign for the Hong Kong China women's team. Then going out to the bat, we had the captain for the Balhinia Stars scoring a half-century. So why not have the Jay Jets captain, Natasha Miles, getting one as well? What a great knock it was. 50 off 35 deliveries. And right at the end, it was helped out by Pulto, who just got it done.
That innings is not really spoken about a lot, but that innings, especially batting with tailenders, I think she really did really well.
18 off 23 for Pulto, getting the job done in 18.1. Talking about captains, let's have a look at the bowling in the final game.
Mariam Bibi, I think she's showed us in this tournament that why she is the number 1 player at this present moment for Cricket Hong Kong China. And with the ball as well, she picked up 4 wickets in her 2 overs. Is that correct?
That is correct. She got the first one, 2 in the second one.
4 for 17.
They needed wickets right at the end, and every time Mariam bowled, she got a wicket, and they got so close. Jade Jets lost 9 wickets chasing it down, but got there with 11 balls to spare. So the series goes to the Alhenia Stars. They were champions, and Jade Jets picking up a win at the end. Let's move on to some weekend cricket, and we'll start with the Sunday Elite Division 1 game over at KCC yesterday. Well, we're recording on a Monday to make sense of that. And it was the Templars versus Pack. We both chipped Pack to win this.
Yes.
It was a lot tighter than I thought it was going to be, especially when I saw the Templars team. They were missing some stars as well.
Especially after the first innings. I mean, the runs that they put up were just 156 in 27 overs and all out.
156 all out in 27 and a half. Azaz Khan, again with a half century, 64 off 52. And the head coach, Waqas Barkat, next best, 23. That is not a big total.
Not at all.
How was the bowling?
Yasin Murtaza showing his experience with 3 for 33. And Ghazan for Muhammad again in the scorecard with another 3 for him. And Rana Nasrullah, 2 for 22. And all 3 of them are national players. And as Kaushal previously said, that every time he sees a scorecard, he needs his national players on the scorecard. So good outing for the national players there.
Yep, Azaz getting in there as well. So 4 of them in the first innings. Then in reply, Pack made it hard. We went very close to getting this tip wrong. Yasin Murtaza top scoring with a 31. Zishan with a 30. And Gaz doing it with the bat as well. They got there in 33.3. Had plenty of deliveries left, but just 1 wicket in hand. The bowling for KCC?
Waqas Barkat, the head coach, at the top of the table with 3 for. And Khan Muhammad Hassan, who just recently was part of the national team. Another 3 for him, but very expensive. If I look at the stats here, 70 runs in 7 overs. Could have done better. Azaz Khan in the bowling card as well, 2 for 37, which is a good sign for national team again.
As it stands, Hassan will get you wickets, but he will cost you runs. So you have to balance that. And they needed wickets because they weren't defending much, but also gave up a plenty. Also up the hill yesterday was the Scorpions up against the Tony Turners. We thought the Scorps were going to win this one. It was a tight affair because there was none of the senior players that we expect to see from HKCC playing in this side.
Yeah.
But didn't matter. Shiv, who got a double century in the 2-day game, went to the 1-day game and got 111 a run a ball, 110 balls for his century. And the next best, Kinshit Shah with 40 and Sahal putting a 36 on the board. 237 for 6, batted their full 50. Bowling? There we go.
Bowling, Hassan Khan was pick of the bowler, 3 for 39. And Sherry finally not being really expensive because this year he's been very expensive. In his 7 overs, he has taken a wicket for 35 runs.
Chasing it down, it was a game of the juniors. Shiv getting a century and Preet Mangukia top scoring for the Tony Turners with a 47. Ibrahim with a 45 and Arez Dar with a 33. But they ran out of wickets in the end, bowled out in 45 for 190. The bowling, I mean...
Yeah, Shiv Mathur, I think he's showing why he's the next big thing in cricket, Hong Kong, China. 5 for, along with his 100. 5 for 32 in his 9 overs.
I can't even remember seeing the last time. When was the last time I saw Shiv bowl? Because normally he's the keeper. But they had David Jakir in the side, so Shiv went out there and got him a shot.
He was in junior games, so maybe that's where he's got his tricks.
Well, what a win that was for the Scorpions. And we're going to move on to Saturday Championship Div 1 now. Yeah. Sky Warriors versus the Tartars. I dropped this game. I gave the Tartars some hope.
I'm glad I jumped off the train, but I might not be rubbing shoulders with some of the people there.
Well, they might not be rubbing shoulders with many either because we'll go through the scorecard. The Sky Warriors, 176 for 7 in 35. Good score. Manpreet Singh top scoring with a 35. Pranav Jha with a 34. And Preet Mangukia again in the runs with a 32. Wickets did fall. Who was the bowlers?
Ghulam Mustafa, yet again showing his experience. Bowled with a new ball, bowled around 4 to 5 overs with the new ball, and then came back before drinks and picked up 2 wickets for 18 runs in his 7 overs, despite his team going for 176.
You'd think 177 chaseable at KCC in 35. Not so for the Tartars. Mitch Shah top scoring with a 32. Cheyenne Puri, who usually bats at 11. I haven't checked the actual full
He
scorecard.
batted at 10.
Well,
Mustafa batted at 11.
Well, there you go. There's one person that bats above him, but he's second top scorer. That's not a good sign. Bowled out for 77 in 20.1. The third best scorer didn't even get into double figures. Chandandeep with a 6. So the bowling must have been pretty impressive for the Sky Warriors.
Yes, another youngster playing for Tony Turner's, Pransh Vimal Kalatia, picked up a 5 in his 7 overs, 5 for 25. Haris Mohammed, 3 for 15, and Preet Mangukia in the bowling card as well, 1 for 9 in his 2.1 overs.
There was somewhere over the weekend as well. I think it might have been at a juniors game, but Pranch got a Michelle or very close to, got a heap, either or that or runs. I remember seeing his name. So he's another youngster to keep an eye out. Diasco, Little Saiwan Sky Warriors winning by 99. Ooh, Tartars. They'll need to regroup. Yep. Also in Div 1, the Nomads versus the Lions at HKCC. We tipped the Nomads to win this. They batted first and a big score, 254 for 4 in 35. Luke Voice with a century, 131 off 109. Veer Matta with a half century as well, 55 off 59. And Matt Rosley with a 27.
Yep, and the evergreen Waqar Dawood playing for USRC Lions picked up 3 wickets in his 7 overs. And Syed Minajuddin playing Saturday League this time picked up a wicket as well in his 7 overs.
Well, Waqar can go away and say he took 75% of the wickets there because he got 3 of 4. The Lions in reply bowled out in 27 for 129. A very fine 71 from Ibrahim, but not a lot of support. Wasim next best with a 22. The bowling?
Daniel Craig, again in the back bowling. He's been really good this year. 4-4 for him, 4 for 32. Veer Mathur did well with the bat, did well with the bowl. 2 for 6 for him. And Parth as well in the wickets column with 2 for 20 in his 5 overs.
125 run victory there for the Nomads. Let's move on to Saturday Championship. Div 2, India Club All-Stars versus the Strikers. Pretty sure we both went with the All-Stars on this one.
Did.
And it was a wise decision. 35 overs, scored 337 for 9. Almost bowled out, but not quite. Yeah. Aminda getting a 118 off just 74 deliveries. Akash Yadav with a 63 and Vinay with a 61.
Yes, it was a big total. Bowlers were going around the park. But Kirti Wasan picked up 4 wickets in his 7 overs. Amit Kumar was also a great help for him, picking up 2 wickets for 46 runs in his 7 overs.
The Strikers did well. I mean, any day of the week you score 281 in 35, you'd be pretty happy, but they'll still go down by 56 runs. Amit Kumar with a 64, Siddharth with a 44, and Rashanga with a 41.
The evergreen again, Imran Arif picked up 2 wickets for 10 runs in his 3 overs. Niket Singh, 2 for 34, and Fazil picking up another wicket for 15 runs in his 3 overs as well.
Yep, the India Club All-Stars will remain undefeated after that match, winning by 56. Centaurs versus Kaitak, and wow. We've got off the Centaurs train. They won 1, and we thought, OK, that'll do. They scored 203 for 5 in 35. Ikram with a 93. Max with a 36. And Abazar with a 29, only losing the 5 wickets for 203.
Yes, and John Pierre was pick up the bowlers. 2 for 39. Priyansh, 1 for 30. That was about it. I think it was a high-scoring game, so... looked all right for the bowling team.
When the old airport used to exist, they used to talk about the planes coming across Kowloon and the Kaitak heart attack.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Kaitak have tried to do in this game because they were almost bowled out. They got there with 6 deliveries remaining. 204 for 9. Ali with a 67, Vishnu with a 44, and Jean-Pierre, who did it with the ball, getting a 28 as well, but nervy times. How was the bowling?
Ooh, there was a 6 in there for Praveen. Praveen, the off-spinner, picked up 6 wickets for 44 runs in 7 overs. Manoj was another bowler who bowled really well for 1 for 26, whereas Ali Waqas picked up a wicket for himself as well.
Well, there's the results from last weekend. Atif will be back shortly with all the upcoming fixtures, but now it's time for In the Dugout with Mamatha Maben. We're in the dugout with the who's who of cricket in Hong Kong. We're in the dugout for episode 7, and joining us for this very special episode here at Ting Kwong Road Recreation Ground while the Women's All-Star Series is going on is new head coach for Hong Kong China women's side, Mamatha Maben. Thanks for joining us on the podcast.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Now, in the dugout, we like to delve back into the story before we get to today. So let's start. You were born November 15, 1970 in Bangalore. How did you get into cricket?
Actually, growing up those days, I was not aware women played cricket. However, I was following cricket. Mostly, it was during 1981-82. I had a cousin brother who would follow cricket on the transistor. And when he had to go out for a break, he'll tell me, follow the score. And then he kind of told me what is a wide, what is a no ball. So I used to follow score on commentary. That's how my interest developed. Thanks to my cousin brother, one Mr. Arun Maben. He introduced me to cricket, the rules and things like that. Then I got interested. So I used to play in school, at home. Though I didn't have a bat, I used to use a exam pad,
Okay.
and a paper ball.
Yeah.
That's how those were the early days.
Yeah.
But eventually in school, I used to play with the boys. I used to come home and play on the streets. But I wasn't aware that women played cricket. Then there was a gentleman called Joseph Hoover, who was a family friend of mine, happened to come home. He told my sister, who's that girl there playing? She's playing pretty well. Then she said, it's my sister. Then he told me, I'm aware where women play cricket. I'll take her. So maybe that was when I was in the 9th, my holidays. He took me to a place where Shantaranga Swami and the doyens of women's cricket were playing. I probably played there for a month, and because of 10th, I couldn't go. It was like I had to catch 2 buses to go there. So 1 year I didn't play, but then when I went to college, there was a college team there, and then I got drafted into a club side, and that's how the progression happened.
So it's basically you were interested in cricket during primary and high school, but it was really when you went off to university college is where you started to get...
Yeah, you're right. But where my cricket interest peaked was the 1983 World Cup. So that was like a huge boom for us. From there, I was very interested in playing cricket, the game.
Fabulous. And you did then get eventually into the international side for India, and also at some point you turned into the captain. Can you tell us a little bit about how that progression came?
Actually, see, those days, women's cricket was not as popular. I first made my debut for the state in 87. But for the first 5 years, there was no international cricket. So it was just state cricket coming back home. And then in 91, we had a tour to Australia. I was in the India camp, but I didn't make the cut. That's when somewhere I felt, no, I need to also, be able to represent the country. But I knew I had something more to do in order to get. So in that 91 to 93 period, I worked really hard. Though we could not be big time professionals because there's no concept of box nets. There are only those nets, right? So after practice, you had to find a wall or go somewhere to get some extra stroke practice. But I did put in the hard yards, and in 1993 got picked for the World Cup. But I didn't have a good outing and I promptly got dropped. So for the next 8 years, I was only playing domestic cricket. It was only in 2001 I made a comeback. And I played for a couple of years. Then post that, I became the captain. And I played for another couple of years. So basically, though I made my debut in 93, I played basically 3 or 4 seasons together. That is 2001 to 2004.
So basically 10 years since your interest in cricket exploded, 1983. You made it into the World Cup in 1993.
Yeah.
I'm assuming back then it was semi-professional or just amateur.
100% amateur.
Yeah, so you'd have to have a job as well to work and then also do the cricket.
Yeah. Fortunately for us, we had an institution called the Indian Railways who were recruiting cricketers. So I'd gotten a job for that, but we had to still go to work. But we would get the privilege of a holiday and things like that because we were recruited on sports quota. So that was okay because we had a job, but we still had to go to work. They would give us some 2 hours time off in the evening. It was not easy, but those days we were 100% amateur. We didn't earn a penny for playing. We had to apply leave to travel and all these kind of things. And we used to practice anywhere between 6 to 7 hours those days, including having to go to work. So it would be early morning, then off to college or work, and then later in the evening. So we would have a 3-hour slot in the morning and 3-hour slot in the evening, in between college or work. So it started at 6 and it would end 6 or 7 in the evening, our day.
That's a long day.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I'm a nerd, so I've got a Buschy nerd stat for you. You're number one in the rankings for the most wickets in an ODI as a captain,
Is it?
with a 6 for 10 against Sri Lanka. Can you tell us a bit about that?
That's actually, truth be told, that was in the inaugural Asia Cup. Though Pakistan didn't participate because of visa problems, we had a 5-match series with them. It was in Kandy and it was very windy those days. Actually, I was the 5th and 6th bowler in the team. We had Julian Goswami, Amita Sharma, who were the lead, Nushi, Neetu David. They were the lead bowlers. It so happened they were getting hit. And then I told myself, okay, let me come. And I picked up a few wickets. Like, whatever I did, I think it was mostly bowled or LBW that day because of the swing. And I picked up maybe 3-4 wickets, stemmed the rod. Somebody picked up. I said, okay, let me get myself off and bring the mainstream bowlers. Again, they were getting hit. And then again, I came back. That's how it is 6.1 overs and 6 wickets. I only came because our mainstream bowlers were getting hit. But I used to bowl regularly for them as a 5th and 6th bowler. And I would chip always with a couple of wickets.
Now, that record was in 2004, so it's stood for 21 years now.
Yeah, it's still standing.
I don't think it might be ever overtaken.
No, it can be. Somebody could easily pick 7 wickets.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But see, even in those 10 runs, 5 runs were overthrow. They were stranded. They both were stranded in between. All we had to do was like get a run out, but it missed the stump. They finished a single and it went for 4 overthrows.
So half of the runs
Yeah, were basically
but
overthrows.
in
But
one
it was
single.
It was one of those days a cricketer has where whatever you do comes off.
Yeah.
That was my day.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
When you started playing international cricket, as you can see on the stats on ESPN Cricket Info, you played women's tests and ODIs only. 19 as captain ODIs and 21 not as captain. Now as a coach, how does that work with you progressing now? If basically all the games are T20, right?
Yeah.
Do you have to change your mindset, or is it just an easy
Yeah.
progression?
Yeah. I won't say easy progression because, like you said, I've not played the game. But the game was introduced way back in 2007, 8, around that time, right? So I had enough, like for China, when I coached China, that was one of my toughest jobs because I had to prepare a raw side for an international within 3 months. And with respect to China, those days some of them were raw, like even our club level cricketers would have basic skills than them. So that initiation taught me a lot about the game. And having to have played with China, I picked up a few skills. But more than that, when I came back to Karnataka cricket, right, we had a 50-over format, the day and days format, as well as T20. So this is where I learned the tricks of the trade. And having to coach the girls and exchanging thoughts with other coaches. Most of the coaches those days, T20 was new. It was a new format. So then the IPL came. And so most of my experience is having coaching our state side and getting some feedback even from the girls and talking to some coaches. And now I think I understand the tempo and the pace of the game and where it is going. And I understand how to train mostly, though I have not played the game. But I understand the structure better now.
So once you've finished international cricket,
Yeah.
you go back to playing state cricket.
Yeah.
And then you've progressed into coaching. Were you a player and coach at one point, or was it just you finished your playing career and then moved into coaching?
I finished my playing career. It was just fortunate that I did my level 1 in 2008. And all of them forced, though I was playing then, they said, you go get into it, you get it done. That was the first all-women coaching course conducted by BCCI, which was exclusively for women. So most of us did it then. And it so happened after I finished that, I got the China offer. So as I was playing, I got the offer. And I finished that season and I took over. So my transition was like playing, coaching. There was no gap in between.
Perfect. Let's move to a month or so ago, and you've been named the new head coach of Hong Kong, China. You went to Malaysia for that 4-game tour. What were your first impressions?
Truth be told, if I'm not being too harsh, first game I watched, I was like, oh, we look like a club side, especially on the field. That was my first impression because they were wides, dime a dozen, and the fielding was like we were. That was my first thing. But credit to the girls, they pulled up their socks and we made a couple of changes which were more focused on fitness and fielding because end of the day we need to be sharp on the ground, right? So there were one or two slots which could go just for a fielder because our batting was covered, our bowling slots were covered. So we made those couple of tactical changes, though we knew we wouldn't get much out of them for bowling or batting, but we knew we needed them to save a few runs on the field because batting and bowling slots were covered already. Like we have quite a few all-rounders like Miriam, Carrie Chan, they both bat and bowl. So one or two slots open up. And that's where we did those tactical changes and we at least looked good. I'm not saying we are there yet, but even the wides aspect of it, I only asked them 50% reduction. If you can do that, I'll be satisfied. Of course, then we have to work on it. So in the second and following games, we look good. We could have won the third game if we would have taken our catches. Well, we could actually been 3-1. But I'm happy for the result because it's a learning curve. There are some mistakes that are going to occur initially so that we can then learn from it and grow. So I'm happy with the fight back. If at all I have to take one thing out of that Malaysia tour, the girls never let their shoulders droop at any point in time. And effort-wise, they gave 100%. Skill, there's a lot of work, which is what we're going to get down to once this All-Stars is over. Yeah.
Speaking of which, we've got an under-13s game behind us, but this afternoon will be game 3 of the 2025 Women's All-Stars Series. What's the aim for you and the coaching staff? What are you looking for from the players in this tournament?
My message to all the players was very simple. I said, this is a very good opportunity for us to progress the course of our game, right? You have to look at the broader picture. We need to be a product that can sell eventually. Nobody's going to do philanthropy for long, you know. Nobody's going to promote the game if we as players are not willing to give back something, right? So this has been my message to them. Go, take this opportunity and learn to make the most of it with the skill you have. Don't give an easy, just try and make an impact. That's all. And rest I've left it to the coaches because they have individual coaches. I would like them to bond with their coaches. My message to the players was, in your entire career, you'll find many coaches. You'll have to learn to work with many coaches. You can't say, my coach said this, that coach said that. You'll have to learn to be receptive. I'm not saying take everything they say, but at least be receptive. So you learn to go along with any coach that comes your way and learn to give your best. Even the coaches, I've told them, this is your game, this is yours. I'm not going to be around. I'm there to oversee and look. My main objective here is to actually scan for some talent. If we can add another 20% to the existing talent we have. Because at the end of the day, I want a strong bench. That's when the growth is going to come. Until such time, we can see marginal growth. If we want big growth, we need 20 people who can all walk into the 11. If we get to that stage, we will climb naturally. So, yeah, I'm only looking to look for some talent and I'm expecting our internationals to give a good account of themselves.
Right, final question. And it's a tough one because you may not want to answer it. Going forward, what are your short and medium-term goals that you're looking to attain?
Short term is, I want our priority to be fitness. I have made that abundantly clear to the girls. If there is a 2-hour slot for you for a day, it should go to fitness first and then cricket. So for cricket, you'll have to obviously have 3 to 4 hours a day. Because in the short term, fitness, fielding, maybe some power hitting, innovative, it'll take some time. But maybe power hitting skills. With the students who have their base, maybe we can introduce the innovative stroke play. But with the rest, I think power hitting skills, discipline in bowling, These are the things in the short term. And once we steadily grow and we see growth, then we can take them up we can upskill them.
Mamatha Maben, thank you very much for joining us on the 8 for 52 podcast.
My pleasure. Thanks much.
More exciting cricket action coming up. Let's check out who plays who next. Right, let's have a look at the upcoming games to the end of 2025 and the start of 2026. Atif Hussain, we're going to start this weekend, Saturday, December 20. IRC Charlie Bears, Saturday versus Diasco Little Saiwan Thunder.
So Thunder versus Charlie Bears. I think Charlie Bears have been really strong this year in their division. So I think I'm not going past them. So
And also very, very scary if you tip against them and they get it right. So yes, Charlie Bears for me as well. Laguna Gully versus the SCC Lancers. I'm going to go Laguna Gully.
why is that?
Got an inkling. I got a feeling.
Okay. I don't got that. So I think I'm going to go Lancers on this one.
Okay, well, fair. You've not given me where they're playing, so I'm one hand behind my back here. Sunday, December 21.
Yeah.
Let's say this is Sunday Elite Division 1.
Yeah.
USRC Elite versus the Scorpions. Now, USRC Elite are at home, so are they here?
Yes.
He says.
Maybe no.
Well done. Okay. Let's say they are, and then I'm going to pick USRC.
Okay. I think I'll go with Scops again.
Yeah.
I think they've been playing well. And,
Yeah. But they were a one-man team last weekend, so that's...
Yeah, but then they were not. They didn't even have their usual suspects in there anyway. So
They may not have them this week either. Anyway, all right. I'm trying to go even lower in the chipping ranking by going against you again. Then we move to Christmas Day for the big 2-day. What's the name of the 2-day?
Qaid-e-Azam Trophy.
Yeah, I always leave that one to you. I won't be here. I will be on holidays. Diasco Little Saiwan playing Pack in the other 2-day Premier League game. Always a good one.
Always a very good one. Very festive, to be very honest. If you come down to the ground, you will see how festive it is. Both teams really treat it like a festive thing because it's on Christmas and it's the leader of Pakistan whose name under the trophy is. So,
now, if my memory serves me correct from the first 2 seasons of the podcast, every year I pick Pack to win, and every year Diasco Little Saiwan wins.
True.
So this year, I'm going to pick Diasco Little Saiwan.
I thought you were going to say Pak again.
I was until like 5 seconds ago. I was like, no, I've got to change.
But I think this year I'm going to go with Pak. I think this is the Pak's year, so I think they will do well.
I thought that until they played the Templars, which was at half strength and lost 9 wickets. So this year, 2-day red ball. I'm going to go with the Diasco Little Saiwan side. Final game of 2025, and it's on a Saturday, December 27. HKU CC versus CCC Hung Si. I'm going to go with HKU.
Yeah, can't go any other way. So, yes, HKU for me as well.
Right, let's move to 2026, and it's HKU again. They're busy over the New Year break.
Yeah.
They'll be playing the SCC Lancers. You go first this time.
I'm going HKU again.
So am I.
Yeah, I think they'll do well in this game as well.
Saturday, January 3, the Diasco Little Saiwan Thunder against the Punjab Lions.
Punjab Lions for me in this one.
Yeah.
I think they've been really strong this year as well. So
Absolutely.
yeah, Punjab Lions it is.
Sunday, and I'm guessing, is this a Div 2 Sunday Elite game? Diasco Little Saiwan Knights versus the Serendip Lions.
Yep. I think... I don't know why, but I wanted to pick Serendip Lions, but I think I'm still gonna go with Knights. They've been trying really hard, but I think they're not getting the results they want. So I think Knights it is.
Yeah, Knights for me as well. Next week, after that, January 10th, USRC Lions against Lama Ding Dong.
Yes, and this is going to be a very fascinating game. Both teams are very strong, but I think Lama are a touch stronger than USRC Lions, and that is why I'll pick them.
Yeah, same. I like Lama, so they'll get the win hopefully there. Now, this is a toughie.
Very tough.
Diasqua Little So One Sky Warriors, whose train you are well aboard, almost driving it, against HKCC Nomads.
Yes.
Again, you're not telling me where they're playing. It is a Sky Warriors home game. If it's up the hill, that gives the Nomads obviously a 12th player, basically. And the Nomads have been good. The Sky Warriors have been very good. Who have you got?
Well, let me just say, I have been on their train again. Last week I was on Tartars and Sky Warriors train, which I have not dropped off. I dropped off the Tartars train, stuck with Little Saiwan Sky Warriors, and I think I'm going to do the same this week. I'm going to jump off the Nomads train.
Yeah, I feel the same, actually. There's not much to dislike about the Diasqua Little So One Sky Warriors, so they'll keep going.
Yeah.
Also on the 10th, the USRC Tuskers up against the KCC Tartars. Now, you're off the KCC Tartars train, so I'm assuming you're picking the USRC Tuskers.
That was last week. I'm jumping back on.
You can't keep jumping on and off trains. You'll do yourself a damage.
There was a different team in there. There was Diasqua Little Seven Sky Warriors that I didn't jump off. So I had to choose one. So I went with Sky Warriors. I think that was a wise decision.
Literally the game before you said how you've jumped off the Tartars train. You're like a hobo, just catching different trains. Yeah.
No, I know. I like traveling.
Yeah, apparently. I'm also going for the Tartars in that one to bounce back. Laguna Gully versus the Saracens.
You tell me first. You were on the Gully train.
Yeesh. Well, if I could get to see what Laguna Gully did against the SCC Lancers, this would make my decision a lot easier. I still think the Saracens are on the improve, so I'm going to pick the Saracens.
I was going to do the same. Yes, Saracens on this one.
Right, Centaurs against the IC All-Stars.
IC All-Stars.
Yeah, I don't even need to know where that's played. Doesn't matter. And then 3 games in Sunday Elite. Pack Elite versus USRC Elite. Given it's those 2 teams, it must be here.
Yeah.
That's going to be a very, very, very good game. And I'm going to back Pack to bounce back after their 2-day loss.
That's very smart, Buschy. I think they'll be winning that 2 there, so they'll follow it up with winning this one. So I'm going to stay with PACC on this one as well.
Wanderers versus the Tony Turners.
This is a tough one to pick, but I think I'm going to pick Tony Turners in this one.
I'm going to go with the Wanderers. And the final game on Sunday, January 11th, it's the India Club Brahmas against the KCC Templars, which will have to have been at KCC, I'd assume.
Yeah.
Templars weren't good at the last game of 2025. Will everyone be back from holidays by January 11? I see Brahmas will desperately want to win this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick the Templars.
Okay, I'm going to pick Niaz. I'm going with Brahmas on this one.
Okay. There it is. There are all the games coming up for the next few weeks over the Christmas and New Year's break here in Hong Kong.
It's time for the Crick Buzz Quiz, where you put your cricket knowledge to the ultimate test.
Welcome back to episode 7's Crick Buzz Quiz. So first of all, let's congratulate Sheehan for getting the correct answers last week. And let's have a look at what the answers were for last episode. For question 1, it was Carrie Chan who was named Player of the Tournament in the bilateral series in Malaysia. And for question 2, the new women's head coach is Mamatha Maben, who Buschy just had in the dugout just now. Did you get the correct answers? So let's move on to today's quiz. So since the Women's All-Star Series has just finished, who is the leading wicket taker in the Women's All-Star Series? And for question 2, who is the leading run scorers in the Women's All-Star Series? There you have it. That's the 2 questions for today's Crick Buzz Quiz. If you have the answers, share them in the comment sections of the 8 for 52 podcast Instagram post or the Cricket Hong Kong China's Facebook post for a chance to win a 20% off voucher for any equipment at Montgomery Sports. Thanks to Afzal Heather.
Happy birthday to
Who's having a birthday in Hong Kong cricket circles? Find out in the Birthday Bonanza with Jazz.
Happy birthday, happy birthday.
Welcome back to the Birthday Bonanzas. Many birthdays to cover this episode. So let's start now. So on Boxing Day, we have 3 birthdays. First of all, we have Niaz Ali having his birthday. And in the twins, Shirai Vacha and Shiraz Vacha. And on the 27th of December, we got Ehsan Khan, who's having his birthday. And on the 28th, we also have a few birthdays. We have Elliot Scrivener, Farouk Saeed, and Ghazanva Mohammed having his birthday, as well as Mudassar Khan. And on the 31st of December, we have Adil Mahmood. Moving on to next year's, starting from January. On the January 5th, we have Babar Hayat having his birthday. On the 7th of Jan, we got Niraj Shah having his birthday. On the 8th, Karen Poon is having her birthday. On the 12th, it is Muhammad Khan's birthday. And on the 15th, it is Imran Ari's birthday. And lastly, on the 16th, we got Jonathan Tia having his birthday. Happy birthday, guys.
Hi, I'm Shanzine from Hong Kong China Women's Team. Tune in to the all-new 8452 podcast driven by Cricket Hong Kong China on CHKC YouTube, Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Well, that brings to an end the final episode of 2025, Atif. In this year, we've morphed from audio only to audio and video. You might be watching us on YouTube or listening in your car on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. It's been a fabulous year. You've joined the podcast along with Jazz. We've had so much fun.
We've had so much fun, and it's been a very good ride for me. I've not really had the experience before, but joining you on this and talking through the cricket that we love, especially being in Hong Kong, and for us, it's 7 days a week kind of thing. So for us to do this, I think it's been a very fun ride.
Well, especially since you're thrashing me in the tipping. So that must... Yeah, you're well ahead and probably will remain after this week's fixtures that we went through. I'm a bit worried what I picked now. How good was it to have the new women's head coach, Mamatha Maben, join us? She has such great stories.
Very inspiring, to be very honest. I was listening to it while recording it as well, and it was one of the best interviews I have listened to. She had so much insight, and she's pretty clear what she wants with the national team. So that is a very, very big yes for me.
I'm not in the team, and I was a bit afraid. You can just tell she is going to push that team hard, push them to the limits, and make them break through and go back up the rankings. For sure.
For sure, it looks really that way.
Jazz isn't here. She did a segment and left. Now she's on holiday. So happy holidays to you, Jazz, and thanks for joining us all season. And for everyone that's been watching in or listening throughout the year, we wish you a very Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
And a Happy New Year from Atif Hussain and Jazz Zito. This is Aaron Bush signing off for the final time this year.
The 8 for 52 podcast is written, produced and published by Aaron Bush, Atif Hussain and Jasmine Zito for Cricket Hong Kong China and Trip Ahead Limited. Copyright 2025.